Next, we have Alan from Napoli. Carlo brought him over. I thought he was okay, to be honest. One of those players where he just didn't really suit the Premier League. I thought he was kind of like Andre Gomez, responsible with the ball, good at recycling it. Kind of had a bit of Ghana Gay about him where he would go hunting around the pitch for the ball. He was kind of good at everything but great at nothing, in my opinion. He was just a well-rounded midfielder but didn't offer anything special. And so for that reason, he's going in not good, not bad. Next, we have Abdoulaye Doucouré. Ultimately, it's been a good signing, but maybe I'll get stick for this. I think he's a terrible player. I think all he's good for is being an engine and being on the end of attacking play. It's happened far too often this season, especially where a build-up play is happening, a counterattack is happening, the ball gets to him, and just all the momentum gets sucked out of the play. Either it's his first touch, it's his passing, just something he does kills the play unless he's on the receiving end of the ball. He has scored so many important goals for us, though, the past couple of years. And we didn't really see the side of him until Sean Dyche came in and played him as like a split striker, almost like a shadow striker. And for that reason, like his goal against Bournemouth, like forever will stand in history as saving us and keeping us up. But I just think we need better for the club. Maybe I'm being harsh, but just technically he's a terrible footballer. But he's amazing at being in the right place, right time. Look at all his goals last year. At least half of them were just deflections or rebounds, and he was standing in the right place, being alive to the play. So ultimately, he's been a good signing, but I just think we need better. Niels Nkunku, not good, not bad. I think he's a good fullback. I think he had great pace, great delivery, great attacking position, but he was never first choice. He couldn't break in ahead of Luka Dean and just got bombed out to France. Played in the Cups. I thought he was bright and kind of a shame it didn't work. I think he deserved better than, the lack of game time he got, but it is what it is. James Rodriguez. Half these images, their heads are cut off, by the way, so sorry about that. James Rodriguez. I'm going to put him in good signing. Now, don't freak out. I know he's probably top 3 greatest technical players that I've ever played for our club. But I don't think he did enough to be a Premier League player. Physically, he was okay. He had no pace. Defensively, his work rate wasn't great. And I think he had not attitude problems, but maybe just effort problems. Like there's all the rumors about him being fit, but just not wanting to play, or, all it would take is there being a rainy or snowy day and his mood would flip and he just wouldn't want to participate. And obviously he was a mercenary brought there by Carlo, so it made sense that he would leave once Carlo did too, even though Rafa was the reason why he left, not because Carlo left. But I think he loves the club and he was a brilliant player for us. Lots of big goals and assists, but didn't do enough to be that incredible signing. I mean, what's culturally an incredible signing. Like, I don't think we'll ever get, past or present, a star like he was a star signed to us unless we do some serious improvement as a club. But yeah, he's going in good signing for now. Robin Olsen, I'm putting in poor signing. Just never good enough to be a number 1. And I remember the 4-0 against United, led in some really poor goals. Just wasn't that great, to be honest. I just don't think he was that good of a keeper. Josh King, I forgot about Josh King, to be honest. I'm going to put poor signing. Barely got played. Like, it annoys me when we bring people on loan or we sign players, loan especially, and then you use a loan spot to bring someone in, and then you just don't play them. No goals, no assists, so poor signing because it was a waste of a loan, in my opinion. Now we're moving into the more modern past couple seasons. Mikalenko. Tough. Vitaly Mikalenko. Is he a good signing or not? I'm going to put him in not good, not bad. Defensively, probably the best fullback we've had. Seamus in his later years has been really good defensively, but Mikalenko's one-on-one defending is so underrated. Like, he just marks out. How many times has he marked out Salah and Saka and all these players that just normally have amazing games, but he can man mark them and 1v1 them all day. And the caveat to that is that he's got absolutely zero. It took him 3 years to get an assist. And he's got a couple goals, and they were great goals, but like 3 years as a fullback to get an assist, like that's crazy. Just doesn't do enough offensively, if anything at all. So I have to put him in not good, not bad. Nathan Patterson, again, not good, not bad. Again, this is a player just like Ademola Lookman. He's played under like 3-4 managers now, and he's never really got a look in. People were playing Mason Holgate in front of him. They were playing Seamus. Who else have we been playing? Ashley Young, especially. Like, granted, that's Sean Dyche who's been playing, older players, but that's just his preference. But you'd think a young attacking international player would get more opportunity, but he just hasn't. Instabilities as far as defending, they exist, and I think we'll find a replacement right back. I don't think he's going to stay at the club, but it's been a very middle-of-the-road signing, in my opinion. Moving on, we have Damari Gray from the same window. This is under Rafa. $1.5 million from Leverkusen. I think this is a good signing. This is a great signing, in my opinion. Cost us nothing. Was a maverick. He had pace, something that no one else in our entire squad had. And he had a trick about him. He was a good finisher. I think far too often he was a ball hog and dwelled on the ball and tried too many tricks and then lost the ball and blah, blah, blah. But in fairness, we didn't really have anyone else putting the ball in the back of the net at the time. Well, I mean, we had Richie and Dom, but no one with that kind of explosive trickery. And he scored some really important goals against City, against Arsenal. And, I think it was a good signing. Ultimately left. I don't really remember his departure. Like, he just kind of faded away. But I think Damari Gray was a good signing. Dele Alli, bless him, everything that's happened in his life. I have sympathy for that. But it was just a failure of a signing. I'm so glad we didn't get stuck with him in that regard, where we had to pay Spurs all this money and blah, blah, blah. It just kind of dissipated, and he went back to Spurs, and then they sold him. He did a couple loans, but never worked out. Was always like not on the bench, but he was fit. Just a weird situation. Like, obviously there's a lot going on in his life, but his downfall needs to be studied as far as football goes. Terrible signing for us. Andros Townsend, I'm putting him in good signing. He was free. Was he? Yeah, free from Crystal Palace. Scored big goals for us. Every goal he scored was a screamer too. Like, in the cups, he scored incredible goals. In the league against Burnley, the 3-1, incredible goal against United when he did the Ronaldo Sue. He scored big goals. His work rate was immaculate. His hair is special, and great attitude, and a very weird, like, kind of in and out signing. But I'm glad that we signed him. He was a good player for us, but he was aging and just not the quality we needed, but he did well for us. Begovic, you got to put him in not good, not bad. A lot of these keepers, like, if it's not Pickford, then it's no one in my opinion. Like, but Begovic has at least played games for us, where these two didn't really. I mean, Olsen did, unfortunately, but Begovic played some cup games. He's always been okay. Nothing. He's never made mistakes or anything. But what more can you ask from a backup? Andy Lonergan, I'm putting him in poor signing because it's just pointless. You may as well have a kid there instead of well, actually, I guess you could argue that having a 40-year-old, third choice is better for experience and being a coach, because that's all the third choice really is, right? So, still a poor signing because it's a bit pointless. But moving on, Salomon Rondon. Wow, what a bad player. Like, really, what a bad player. Did he even score in the league by the end of the season? He scored 2 against Bournemouth, and the joke was he finally found his level against non-league. But man, he was not the player I was excited for from, playing at West Brom and not Hull City. Where was he? Newcastle with Rafa. I was excited for him because he was a bull, and he tore us apart. He made Michael Keane look like a little boy. Like, he was so good when he played against us, and then went away to China for a couple of years and came back a horrible player. Glad he's gone. What a terrible signing. Speaking of terrible signings, Anwar Al-Ghazi. Who? Exactly. Came on loan because Mashiri's friend told him to sign him. Played, I think, 7 minutes for us over the span of 2 sub appearances at the end of games. Did absolutely nothing. I actually feel bad for the guy because there's another player in here who I feel bad for. Came here, didn't even play. What a waste of 1 year of your football career. Or was it 6 months? Either way. Failure of a signing. Pointless. Donny van de Beek. I think the intent of it was... yeah, I'm going to put him in not good, not bad, because he didn't do anything wrong, and he was actually kind of bright for us. He scored against Arsenal, set up Seamus for the cross that Dom put in against, I don't remember who, but he was he was something different that we didn't really have, kind of that 8 or that attacking midfielder at the time. Ultimately, just wasn't very good, but, it is what it is. Amadou Onana, I'm going to put him in good signing. As a player, I don't think he was that great. I think he's a Premier League player. He's got the physicality. He's tall as hell. Great on set pieces. I think he's got a good attitude. Gets around the pitch immaculately. Good passing. But I wasn't bothered one bit when we signed him. Like, I don't know why. I just never had a connection to him. But also, like, I just don't think he did any jobs that we couldn't find someone else to do. Like, Decore was kind of like a similar player as far as getting around the pitch, but Decore was getting goals, whereas Onana, yeah, he was scoring like headers on set pieces, but like, it's just the way he would always, with the crowd too often, it just bothered me after a while. I don't know. It's like, focus on the field. Don't try to hype up the crowd. But he's a good signing because we sold him for a profit. Quick turnaround. Next up, we have Dwight McNeil. I'm putting him in good signing. He was terrible under Lampard. Like, I think he got 1 goal in the first year at the club, or the first, like, section of the club. And then under Dyche, and now under Moyes, well, he just came back from injury, but got a goal. I think he got an assist the other week. I think it's a shame he's one-footed. That bothers me so much, how you can be a professional footballer and never use one of your feet. But he's scored some incredible goals over the years, especially like Brighton when we won 5-1 away, and he was just running them ragged. Like, 2 goals, an assist, and caused an own goal. Like, he had such a good game that day. Didn't really cost much. And yeah, I don't think, the thing is, like, a player like Dwight McNeil, he's never going to play for a bigger club. So you ultimately want a player to replace him who you can see moving on to a bigger club. But for now, he's at a good level and amazing at set pieces too. So we kind of need him in the team, in my opinion. Good signing. Neil Mopai, an absolute rat. He's hilarious, to be fair. I think he's really funny, but he's just a rat. Like, terrible footballer for us. I don't know why we signed him. He didn't fit our system whatsoever. Like, how are you going to play? I'm not a manager, obviously. How are you going to play one kind of way, i.e. long ball up to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, and sign a guy who's 5'5" with no pace? Who thought of this? Like, it would have been different if we completely changed how we played, but they didn't change anything. We just were terrible with him. He scored a great goal against West Ham, but aside from that, his record was terrible. And I actually thought it wasn't the worst signing ever at the time, because he was scoring like 8-10 goals a season for Brighton. Just a bit of a weird signing in hindsight, and he was horrible for us. So he is going in the failure of a signing. Jimmy Garner. I think this is a good signing because he's young, came from United, so he's got a good pedigree. And he's another one like Dwight McNeil. Is he ever going to play for a club bigger than us? I know he played for United, but in his like adult career, I can't see a Spurs or a Chelsea taking him. I just don't think he's got the quality. I think he's got the ability to improve, but he was a good signing for what it was. He didn't cost us really anything, and he's like one of the first names on the team sheet every single week. So I think it's a good signing. He's the kind of player, kind of like Alan, where good at everything, great at nothing. Like, in FIFA, when you've got like physical, or what is it? Pace, shooting, passing, dribbling, defending, physicality. His is like a 70 across the board. Like, he's just a very well-rounded midfielder, but he's not like incredible at anything, in my opinion. So we need to see more from him, but good signing. Idris Gay, gotta put him back in the incredible signing list. This is his second appearance, so the second time we signed him, where he is now. Great, smart signing. He's happy to be here, loves the club, he's got friends here, always performs, always gives us everything. Didn't really cost us anything. And yeah, we need to start looking for a replacement. I hope we give him one more year. But great signing to sign him again. James Tarkowski, incredible signing in my opinion. This is one of the few times where you have that dream signing and then it actually happens, in my opinion. I was so desperate for us to sign him when Burnley got relegated, which is crazy because, like, they got relegated. Why would you want their defender? But he was just class. And I know he's on big money, but he's my kind of player. I'll put it that way. He's my kind of hard man defender. A lot of pride, a lot of confidence, a lot of aggression. Will throw himself at a ball. Great on set pieces too. Wins everything in the air. Costs us nothing. He's on big wages, but costs us nothing. So incredible signing in my opinion. Ruben Vinagre, just a failure signing. I don't think he might have played one game for us. And that's another player like El Ghazi. Where is he? Right there. Where I feel bad for. You didn't even get to play for an entire year of your career in your prime age. So nothing else to say there. Just pointless to sign someone on loan, taking up a loan spot who's never going to play a minute for us. Connor Cody. I think Connor Cody was a good signing. In hindsight, I'm kind of glad we didn't sign him because we ended up getting Jake O'Brien, and who else did we have? I don't know. We had like Ben Godfrey and Michael Keane to like fill the spots, but Connor Cody, I think, exclusively for the fact that he was a leader and just captain material. And I think that's something that we've been lacking over the years. And, celebrated every time he scored. Loved wearing the blue shirt, and it is what it is. But he never hid. He'd always be transparent, and I think as a human, just a great signing. Again, it was just a loan, so it didn't cost us anything. But I like Connor Cody, but I don't think it's the worst thing in the world that we didn't sign him permanently. Excuse me. Next up, we have the man, the myth, the legend, Beto, and I'm going to put him in not good, not bad. He's been great for us this season, and that's down to the fact that Moyes understood how to play him, and Sean Dyche didn't, which I find incredible. Like, how can you not understand how to play this guy? It's very obvious how he played for Udinese. Technically, he's not very good. I think he has gotten a lot better in the last year, his touch and his kind of awareness and link-up play. But yeah, like technically it's very obvious that he started his career really late and didn't develop as a teenager. But the way he can finish, like this season, he's scored great goals for us. None of them have been huge because like every game we've won by a good margin or have drawn, but really important goals. And he kind of got us through that patch of games where we got all the draws and all the wins, especially when Moyes came in. We started playing to his strengths. Oh my God. Yeah, he's up for player of the season in my opinion. That being said, I don't think he's good enough for what we need. But I wouldn't be mad if he's here next season and, we get rid of a bunch of other strikers and just keep him and, get some new strikers. Yusuf Trimidi, this is a really tough one because everyone's got great hopes for him and, rates him, but he's done absolutely nothing. So far, I'm putting him as poor signing. I think he needs to go on loan and do something. He's just sitting around getting 10-minute sub appearances, and he hasn't got any goals or any assists. He's still young. I think he's probably 21, 22 now. He needs to be playing games, and he looks like the similar mold to Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but we have yet to see literally anything. So I'm putting him in poor signing. Hopefully he can go higher if he starts doing stuff, but we have yet to see that. Arnaut Danjuma, not good, not bad. I think the downfall of Danjuma was Sean Dyche never playing him when we needed a Danjuma on the field instead of a Harrison or, Decore or whoever. No, Decore was good actually, but you know what I mean. I think he was better than what we saw, and I think he was just unfairly treated. But maybe there's a reason for that. Maybe he didn't track back defensively. Maybe he wasn't a good trainer. Who knows? Came and went. No one's really bothered. So not good, not bad. Ashley Young, I'm going to put him in good signing strictly based on the fact that he can play multiple positions. He's rarely injured. He's old as hell, but his awareness, he's very switched on when he's on the field. He's been defensively such a liability, especially at the beginning of the season and last season too. Or has he only been here 1 year? I don't even remember, but he, I don't think we'll give him another year, and rightly so, but those 3 penalty shouts in that one game at the beginning of the season, oh my God, just such a liability, but you got to say he's a good signing because he was a free and he can play all over the pitch. So Jack Harrison, poor signing. The first loan, I understood why we took him. The second loan, it just seemed like very lazy scouting and recruiting. I don't think he deserves to wear the shirt. He's not good enough. He's kind of explosive, but he's got no end game, no end product. And he has a lot of opportunities to do so, but then just the final ball he puts in the box isn't good enough, or the shot isn't good enough. And he won't go back to Leeds. I don't think he's good enough for Leeds. They won't want him. So I think he'll be looking for a new club next year. We're obviously not going to sign him, but I don't think Leeds are going to take him back. So poor signing, has to be said. He's played so many games just by default, so it is what it is. Jake O'Brien, I think, is a good signing. I don't think we've seen enough of him in his proper position. Obviously, he's played right back. Sean Dyche was signed under Sean Dyche and just never played. So you have to wonder why, whether that was Kevin Thelwell or Sean Dyche. He didn't have Premier League experience, as if that matters. The guy's 6'6", and he grew up his whole youth career playing for Palace. He understands English football. I don't know. I think he's good. He scored some big goals for us this season. A couple of equalizers. He's a unit. Wasn't switched on for the second goal against Ipswich the other day, which is a shame. Just didn't even jump. Didn't know, not Kiefer Moore, what's his name? George Hurst was behind him. And, I think he needs time to get even better, but I think it's a good, smart signing right now to probably replace Tarky in the next year or two. Iliman Ndiaye, this is an incredible signing. I think it's safe to say he's our favorite player this year. Absolute maverick. His skill, what I notice about him is his balance. Players bounce off of him, and he knows how to shield the ball and use his body physically so well. Drops the shoulder, good movement, good dribbling. I think he's got the most dribbles or take-ons or something like that. His goal against Spurs was great. Didn't cost us much, and he's just been a shining light in a pretty dark season up until Moyes showing up. He's an incredible signing. I hope he just gets better, and then ideally you want him to move on to a bigger club for a huge fee, but hopefully until then he stays with us. Tim Bunham, This is kind of like a weird signing that no one really asked for. Same with Lewis Dobbin going the other way, but it made sense for both clubs, so we just took each other's youth player. Um, it's tough to say. I'm going to put him in not good, not bad. The beginning of the season, I thought he was actually our best player, the first few games. And then he kind of, I think he may have got injured and then replaced by like Ghana and James Garner and Decore. I think he's bright. I think he needs to hone in and find out what kind of player he is. But I'm very happy to see him so far play for us. And maybe he goes on loan next season. Maybe this is his level and he continues to grow. But yeah, not good, not bad. Hopefully we see more from him, though. Jesper Lindstrom, you have to say it's been a poor signing. Again, another player like Davy Klaassen where I wanted it to work so badly. He was great in Germany for Frankfurt. Went to Napoli. I don't think he got any goals or assists. He's got one assist for us, and it's a fluky assist where he slipped, and it somehow went to Jack Harrison. But, he just hasn't done enough, has he? Maybe it's like he's trying too hard, but it's been a poor signing. Unfortunately, he wants to be here. You can tell he doesn't like his time in Italy. He likes the English culture, the English football. He wants to be here for the new stadium. He said that at the beginning of the season. But I'm afraid I don't think we'll sign him permanently and he'll go back to Napoli. But, poor signing in my opinion. I think it was a smart signing, but it just didn't work out. And it has to be a poor signing because he hasn't delivered in any way. Carlos Alcaraz, I'm putting him in good signing because he's been bright for us. And there may be some illusions with some of these players. Like, for example, we don't have any other player like Alcaraz in the team. Someone that's, can play across the front, anywhere across the front, can link up the midfield and attack. And, he's a dribbler, good through balls. He's got an eye for a pass. Obviously got the assist for Beto. Another assist for Beto at the weekend. And I hope we sign him personally. I think he's a good player. I think there's more to come from him. And it's just a matter of if Moyes sees that. Oral Mangala. God, where does he go? Mangala. I don't think we'll sign him because he's been injured. I think he was a good signing. I think he was a smart loan signing. Plugged up the midfield. He was a good player, busy. You kind of had a mixture of James Garner and Idrissa Gana Gueye. Very well-rounded midfielder. Got injured, unfortunately, and that's the rest of his season. I don't think he'll come back. I also just have trust issues with players that get injured that badly, but he was good up until his injury. And finally, Armando Broja. You have to put it in poor signing. I mean, he's achieved nothing, no goals, no assists. Looks a bit lost. Doesn't look like he suited any of the striking roles that we play. Like, he's decent in the air, decent hold-up play. Actually, pretty good hold-up play. He's a unit, but he just is always in the wrong position. Like, he comes to receive the ball too often, or he's out wide too often instead of staying central. But in his fairness, our gameplay is so terrible. And, we don't have enough players higher up the pitch. We do now, but, he hasn't been getting that much game time under Moyes. So, ultimately, it's a poor signing. I don't want us to sign him permanently. I don't think we will anyway. He'll probably dwindle off to some lower Premier League club next year. I think Chelsea will finally get rid of him. So this is it. This is my final tier list of all 70 players that we have signed since I started diehard supporting the club. Let me know your opinions. What did I do right? What did I do wrong? And stay tuned for more videos like this.